Hello, hello, hello. It's Marina the Soul Alchemist, and it's time for Pick Your Own Card Weekly Guidance for the 30th of June through to the 6th of July. So we are officially entering into the second half of 2025. How did that happen? So, what better way, what better theme and topic to open up this next second 6 months is with money and wealth. So, really understanding how we can unlock that maybe more aligned, more healthy, more vibrant connection with money and the flow of money into our life. So we are looking at money and wealth, but of course, wealth can mean different things to each of us. So for some, it may be more related to health because that is wealth as well. It may be love. So I am using the Akashic Oracle card deck, which you can see behind me, and you can see some of the fabulous cards that are also featured in the deck itself. This is a modality in a box, a spiritual toolkit, all contained in that one box. So they not only support you with oracle readings and wisdom coming through from the Akashic records, but also you do get a key that you can turn into a pendulum to support you with karmic healing. But the cards themselves also have healing portals and activation portals within them as well. So you don't necessarily need to use a key. You can actually have the card out. And I'm using one of the cards just for activations today for true service, because it will do its thing in the background. Okay, that said, if you've not had a chance to pick a card, I want you to tune in to cards 1, 2, 3. Pop your answers in the comments below. I'm going to reveal the messages, themes, and energies. The bonus card is just a deeper message for you to potentially build that positive, thriving connection with the energy of money or wealth in a faster way, or it's giving you something really to think about in relation to your main card. Of course, I'd encourage you to listen to all of the cards to get this full, rich message. Rich. But this particular card is going to give you that extra bit of information, potentially to really get you to look at what it is that's within the card that you have picked. And it's like a fast track. Okay, so if you pick card 1, interestingly, this is a card that I've spoken about already last week on my emails. It was one that I picked when I came out of Merlin's cave, which was literally a week ago on the solstice, and I pulled a card to see what had been unlocked, what had been activated as part of being in that cave and receiving all of the energy from that beautiful space. And so what we've got here when we relate it to money and wealth, this is kind of what is going to help you to elevate your money flow and that connection, that relationship with money. And it's unconscious projections. So we know that being out in the collective at the moment is an interesting time, to say the least. And so when it comes to money and wealth and scarcity and lack, we are bombarded. We're being bombarded with all of these projections. A lot of them are unconscious, but some of them are purposely placed out there, as we know, to activate fear within us as a collective. So this card is saying, where are you receiving unconscious projections? Now, it may be unconscious to you at this point in time until you give it a little bit of time and reflection to actually notice, I am taking on that person's beliefs, complaining, conversations, fears, and I haven't actually realized how much that is impacting my energy. And it's actually not helping my mindset around my connection to money. And so this can come from partners, it can come from family members, it can come from work colleagues. It can also come from our clients, so don't forget that, if we have got our own businesses, our clients can quite often come to us looking for support around money flow. And it's just being mindful that we are not picking up on their their kind of like energy, or where they're at when they come to us before they receive, the beautiful healing and mindset shifts and things like that. So that, for me, from that perspective, is spiritual hygiene, and just making sure that we're not unconsciously taking on other people's energies. It's going to be maybe more obvious with those that you are around a lot physically, but also what you are ingesting from social media and from the TV as well. So if you can, literally, it's almost like capturing those unconscious projections, those fears, whatever it might be. Give it some reflection time, so we've got the mirror, so that you can notice where maybe that stream of energy is coming in from, and it's almost like you're capturing it in the mirror so that you can place it over there, and you can come back into noticing actually how much abundance there is in the world, in nature, in your life, in your relationships, through support, perhaps, in your environment, like your immediate environment, where we have got things that maybe you've got that are very dear to you, that are precious. That's a form of abundance. So it's noticing again, once you've cleared that unconscious projection, whatever and wherever it's coming from, we don't need to place any judgment on that. It's just noticing that we've got it, we're going to release it. And then getting back into looking at all of the things that are actually around us, the reality of what's around us, and noticing actually there's a lot of abundance there. If you have this card deck, then I encourage you, if you've picked this as your main card, to work with this card over the week for at least 24 hours. Just have it out on your altar, next to your bed, next to where you work, next to where you play, wherever that might be, where it feels appropriate, and ask for it to continue to release those unconscious projections for you. The card will do the work. Okay, so let me know how that's landing. So that's our first card related to money and wealth. If you pick card 2, this is a lot more obvious. I mean, I think card 1 was quite obvious as well, but this really is obvious. This is from the wealth chamber. So with these cards, there's 7 chambers, and there's 7 cards within each chamber. So there's 49 cards in the deck. That first chamber that we were looking at is the relationships chamber, which of course unconscious projections come from other people in some shape or form. So it's connected with the relationships. This is connected with the wealth chamber, and it is vows of poverty. So if you've picked card 2 as your main card, then this card is indicating that there is some kind of negative agreement that is likely to be ready to be released, so that it helps your connection with the money of with the relationship with money or wealth or wealth. So it could be a vow of poverty, but it also could be a contract of some kind. It could be a pledge, an oath, a declaration, a promise. And if you just say negative agreement, that kind of covers and ticks all of the boxes when it comes to this. Again, some of these things are taken subconsciously or unconsciously as well. We don't even realize that we are saying these things with our words, and then we start to uphold the pledge or the oath in some way through our behaviors. Now, for some of these, they are very, they're done through ritual, so they are very consciously taken. Either way, whatever you've picked, if you've picked card 2, you've got vows of poverty or lack, scarcity, because that's basically what a vow of poverty will uphold in your life at the moment. Is this kind of like promising to be poor, promising to be without. So you can have that boom and bust cycle going on. You're kind of doing really well and things are flowing, then all of a sudden unexpected bills come in, things break down, and the money goes out again. Now, we have to recognize that, it's healthy to have money flow. Absolutely. Because that's what, this, the energy of money likes to pass hands. It likes to be flowed around I'm not sure if it's as many people as possible, but it likes to have this flow. It doesn't like the stagnancy. So when we are stagnant with our habits and behaviors and mindset, it means that we can get stuck with the ability to attract more money or to kind of up level our bandwidth to hold more money because we're not changing something within ourselves, and it creates that stagnancy. So it's almost like you have that stagnant pool of money, and there may be something then that triggers the activation of the flow, but it may not be the flow coming in. It's more likely to be the flow going out. And then what that does is then triggers lack and scarcity and fear. And all of this is beneficial in the sense of it's noticing where you've still got money wounds, money trauma, money stories going on, maybe some vows of poverty. And it really does help, it highlights how you respond to that. So where is the work around that? Obviously, there's the energy healing, there's the mindset work, things like that you can do to then improve your response and relationship to money coming in, but also money going out, not falling into the fear. That's the main thing. How do we respond differently to that? And this is where trust starts to come in, trust in the universe, trust in ourselves to be able to continue to know that we are of worth and value and that we will continue to receive as well as release or give. So vows of poverty, let me know how that is landing with you. Let me know if you've gone and listened to card 1, because I feel that that's, the messages this week all interweave beautifully to give you a full picture. And the bonus card is going to kind of be the cherry on top. Let me know if you want a deck of cards. There is going to be a link below. Know that they do come with 2 bonuses, a masterclass and a key. It's a complete spiritual modality in a box that just helps you to connect with the Akashic records. It helps you to get guidance and to activate healing in several ways. These cards are, they have portals within them, so they're not just a deck of cards. I want to say that they're a living thing, but from a logical perspective, they're not, but from an energetic perspective, they are. Our logic always kind of gets in the way, our ego gets in the way. Well, they're not living, they're not breathing. But energetically, on the quantum field, they absolutely are. And the more that these decks go into the hands of the dedicated owners that are contracted to have the deck, the energy of the portal and the frequencies that go into the portal from the people that own these decks, we're all kind of adding into this big, beautiful pot of frequencies and, healing and activation and coding. So it's really beautiful. And the more people that have the decks, the more powerful this becomes. Okay, so if you pick card 3, favorite card of the deck, and actually this what this particular card is actually behind me here. Of course, I was going to have this as a bigger card. It's deservability and self-worth. So, of course, we know that when we don't feel that we are worthy of receiving money and prosperity and good things in our life, then we are going to subconsciously and energetically block that. So this card is saying, where do you not feel of value, of worth? Where are you seeking validation, external permission to have the life that you want, or to make the next shift with your money flow, money relationship, up leveling your income, whatever it might be, asking for the bonus, asking for the new job, asking for the promotion? Where are you holding yourself back and not believing that you are worthy of that? Putting your prices up. Where are you not worthy of doing that? So this is a really powerful card, and she really represents deservability and self-worth from a real divine masculine, but also a really beautiful divine feminine. There's a real element of regalness and magnificence that's connected with this card. And, she doesn't take any shit either. But that's what I love about this card, is really standing in your sovereignty and power in terms of how you are of value, and that doesn't equate to productivity. It doesn't equate to how much output and your results and your certifications and how much money you earn, you are of worth and value just because you are. And it's who you be. And you are this amazing soul that has decided to incarnate into this experience. And so that in itself is of huge value. So deservability and self-worth. So where are you blocking your money flow? Where are you decreasing what's available for you because you don't feel that you are worthy of it? Sometimes this can be a little bit sneaky as well, because you think, well, I've done all of the work around receiving and I do think I'm of value and of worth. But if you have picked that card, there is still something to connect in with. So it could be around boundaries and sovereignty, and where you're maybe still leaking your power about money decisions. Are you seeking permission or confirmation from somebody else rather than just making the decision about how you use your money for yourself? So there could still be that element there, not trusting yourself maybe with money because of maybe past mistakes, past experiences where, you know, this is how we learn our relationship and really start to elevate the value and the relationship of money with money is through making mistakes and maybe being a little bit disrespectful, disregarding, you know, I not maybe having a high regard of money for whatever reason. Where can there be a shift there? Because that will really help that deservability and self-worth connection. So again, let me know how your that card and that message is landing. Let me know if you're listening to cards 2 and cards 1, because they're all quite different in terms of message. Take what resonates, leave the rest. The bonus card, so this is going to give you your fast track to unlocking what it is that you need to look at in the specific card or cards that you have chosen. And it is looking at the shadows. Shadow love. So what you could have with regards to money and the shadows is money must be earned. So you have to work hard for money. So that could be one of the shadows that's coming up here. If I receive too much, I am going to be abandoned or judged. So that also could be another shadow that links in with one of the cards that you have chosen. Another one is if I give more love, time, or money, I will then be enough. So it's not recognizing that you're already enough. It's like, I just need to add a bit more. I'm just going to do a bit more. So then I really am demonstrating that I am enough. So where do we always just add in, just in case it's not enough? And so this is recognizing that one of the shadows is we don't need to give and keep giving to prove our worth and value. And as I say, it doesn't necessarily have to connect with money. It can be time, it can be love, support as well, but it all connects in with money because it's a habit. It's a shadow that we have going. Self-worth tied to validation. So this is also another shadow. I feel valuable when I am chosen, needed, or thanked. So that is an external validation that what you have given has then been accepted and appreciated. And so what we then do is we tie in our self-worth to this validation, and we don't feel worthy unless we receive some kind of response from somebody else. So that can be either being needed and being asked, being thanked for what you have given, or that you have been chosen to do something. So this can create this loop of I'm only successful if I am seen. And that can then mean that you overgive, overdo, just to receive that validation. So that's a shadow that's also coming up here as well. So any shadows, and you may have a whole host of other shadows that may link to those particular cards. As I'm talking, you'll probably know what your shadow is, but if you don't, then I would invite you to sit with your shadow and ask for the money shadow to come forward. You know, set up a beautiful space, make it a bit more of a ritual so it feels a bit more special, and that you're devoting this time for you to sit with this shadow. And it's like understanding what, you know, ask for the energy of money to also come in and sit with you, because it is a spirit, it is a being of sorts, it is an energy form. So ask for the energy of money, ask for your shadow to sit down. It's like, okay, what money shadow could I work on? Or do I need to see that I'm not fully seeing, or that I do know that I have, but I need to do a bit more work on it? And just allow whatever comes to you wants to come through. And you may want to sit down with a piece of paper and just write some stuff down, because I often find that that's a good way to actually bring stuff through from the subconscious, from the energy of money, or from your shadow, you know, in this case. You may want to just sit with your eyes closed and just see if there's any thoughts, random thoughts or words or memories that start to come through that you can start to maybe connect some dots to. You may want to pull a card and just get a bit more information there as well. It could be from this deck, it could be any deck that you've got going on that you love to connect with. So that's my invitation. I've given you lots to think about there, but the premise of this week is for you to unlock the thing that is ready to be released that supports and elevates your money and wealth flow. Looking into the shadow is going to be your fast track to allow that process to unfold. So let me know how you get on. If you want to have a one-to-one session with me, I do one-to-one readings. They're a 3-month forecast. They do include Akashic record healing as well. And you can either do that as a single session, or you can do it as a package, and I support you for a whole year with 4 sessions. All right, love and blessings, everybody. I'll speak to you soon, and enjoy this entering into the second half of the year. Love and blessings. Speak to you soon. Bye.